You could actually hear when somebody died because you would hear it. And then you wouldn't hear anymore.
Ever wonder why Wendy Williams' life seemed to take a dark turn right after she exposed Shan Diddy cows? From shocking accusations of secret lifestyles to chilling threats against her own son, the feud between Wendy and Diddy is more twisted than anyone ever imagined. Rumors suggest that Diddy's infamous parties, high dark secrets, and recent lawsuits have brought disturbing claims to light. But could all this be connected to Wendy's sudden decline? Her mysterious health issues, financial chaos, and complete disappearance from the public eye? Let's dive into the explosive Datacom feud that may have cost Wendy Williams everything.
Worse, hip-hop wearing skirts or hip-hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, and denial of something that.
So Wendy Williams and Sha Diddy Coles have been locked in one of the entertainment industry's most infamous feuds, one that has spanned decades, careers, and reputations. But how did this all start? To understand the full scope of their conflict, we have to go back to the 90s, a time when Wendy Williams was just beginning to establish herself as a fearless radio personality, and Diddy was rising to the top of the hip-hop world. The collision of these two intense personalities was inevitable, but no one could have predicted the level of drama it would bring.
Practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. This goes to show you how far the homosexual movement within hip-hop and sports still needs to go.
In the late 90s, Wendy Williams made a name for herself by not shying away from controversy. She became renowned for her no-holds-barred approach to celebrity gossip, often exposing the dirty laundry of some of the most powerful figures in the music industry. And Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy, was one of her primary targets. Williams, who was working at New York's Hot 97 at the time, began to spread rumors that Diddy was hiding certain aspects of his personal life from the public. She hinted at secrets that could potentially damage his reputation, particularly regarding his relationships and his conduct behind closed doors. These rumors, though never confirmed, were enough to stir up the pot in the tightly knit world of hip-hop, where image is everything.
And I was very poor, but I was happy. I've never been motivated by money, even though I didn't come from money. I'm motivated by quality of life. So I was there for 6 or 8 months, and I knew that I wasn't going to leave the island until I had another job.
Wendy's insinuations didn't stop there. She even claimed she had received photos of Diddy that could supposedly expose them in a compromising situation during a vacation in Cannon. Although she never aired the photos, the threat alone was enough to make waves. In fact, it's widely believed that Diddy used his considerable influence in the music industry to get Wendy fired from Hot 97 before she had a chance to reveal anything more about him. According to some reports, Diddy allegedly made it clear that if Hot 97 didn't see ever ties with Wendy, he would blacklist the station, cutting off his access to any music from his label, Bad Boy Records. And his many industry connections, the threat worked. Wendy was out of a job, and it seemed at the time that Diddy had won the battle.
I seen him do it before. I seen him even tell people on the phone before, like he did Wendy Williams.
But Wendy Williams is not one to go down without a fight. Although she was forced out of New York's radio scene for a while, she quickly bounced back, eventually landing her own syndicated radio show, The Wendy Williams Experience, and later her now iconic daytime talk show, The Wendy Williams Show, throughout her career. Wendy has made it clear that she has no intention of backing down from her bold approach to celebrity gossip, and Diddy has remained a frequent topic of conversation on her platforms, with Wendy continuing to allude to the rumors she first spread in the 90s.
As far as, is he going to turn people in? Is he going to cooperate? If the federal government wants him to cooperate and they're going to cut his time, because right now he's looking at 15 to life. With all the charges he had to, he won't get out till 70 years old. He about 70, that's when they start talking about.
One of the most memorable moments in their feud came during a 2017 episode of The Wendy Williams Show when Diddy appeared as a guest. It was a rare instance of the two coming face to face after years of animosity. The attention was palpable, especially when Diddy made a cryptic comment about meeting Wendy's son, Kevin Jr. According to some viewers, the moment seemed to make Wendy visibly uncomfortable, leading to speculation that Diddy had some sort of hold over her. While nothing overtly sinister was said, the exchange raised eyebrows among fans who were already aware of the long-standing tension between the two. But what really got people talking was the way Wendy reacted after the interview. Normally composed and confident, Wendy appeared flustered and evasive when discussing Diddy's comments about her son. This led some to believe that Diddy might have been sending a not-so-subtle message, reminding Wendy of her past attempts to expose him and suggesting that her family could be drawn into their feud. It was a chilling moment, one that hinted at the deeper, more personal nature of their conflict.
A few times I thought I was going to pass out because it was hot on that staircase. You know what I'm saying? And when they closed the doors, I knew something.
What made this incident even more unsettling was the context surrounding Diddy's infamous parties, which had been the subject of rumors for years. These exclusive gatherings were said to be wild, over-the-top affairs attended by some of the biggest names in entertainment. But according to various insiders, there was a darker side to these events, one that involved manipulation, secrecy, and power dynamics that left many feeling uncomfortable. Some former attendees have come forward over the years hinting at the strange and sometimes disturbing things they witnessed at these parties. Though the specifics have often been vague, the rumors have persisted, painting a picture of a scene that was more about control and dominance than just fun and indulgence.
Is he this gangster that behind the scenes is that him? Or is that
Shout out to Wendy Williams.
For Wendy, who had spent years trying to expose the underbelly of the entertainment industry, these parties represented everything she had been warning people about. She had long hinted that Diddy's public persona didn't match up with his private behavior, and the stories coming out about his parties only seemed to confirm her suspicions. In fact, many believe that Wendy's relentless pursuit of the truth about Day's personal life is what made her such a target in the first place. By daring to challenge someone as powerful as Diddy, she put herself in the crosshairs of his considerable influence. Some say she's been paying the price ever since. While Wendy was busy exposing the secrets of the rich and famous, D was carefully crafting his image as a larger-than-life mogul. He built an empire that spanned music, fashion, and even television, all while maintaining a carefully created public persona. But behind the scenes, there were whispers that Diddy's empire was built on more than just business savvy. Some claimed that he used his power in influencing ways that went far beyond the typical dealings of a record executive. There were allegations that he had a dark side, one that Wendy had been trying to expose for years.
Sean had to take responsibility for what he did as an individual. Sean is the one who pulled that gun out. Sean is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility for that.
The rumors surrounding Diddy's social life were nothing new, but they gained renewed attention in the 2010s, particularly after a series of high-profile lawsuits brought attention to his behavior at these infamous gatherings. One of the most disturbing aspects of these rumors involved claims that some of the people who attended Diddy's parties were much younger than they appeared. While no concrete evidence has ever surfaced to substantiate these allegations, they have persisted over the years, adding another layer of intrigue to the story surrounding Diddy.
Jay-Z got his whooped by his sister-in-law on camera. What's her name? Solange. You gotta imagine, the feds ain't step in and do nothing. The feds don't care about you getting your ass whooped.
It's easy to see why Wendy might be so protective of her son, especially given the rumors that have swirled around Diddy for so many years. She has spent her career pulling back the curtain on the entertainment industry, revealing the often sordid realities that lie behind the glitz and glamour. And yet, despite all of her success, it seems that Wendy has never fully escaped the shadow of her feud with Diddy. The question remains, has her determination to expose him come at too great a cost?
This is Wendy Williams, the hottest radio host in New York City.
As we move into the 2020s, the feud between Wendy and Diddy shows no signs of abating. In fact, it may be more intense than ever, with Diddy facing a slew of legal challenges and Wendy dealing with her own personal and financial struggles. It seems that both of them are fighting battles on multiple fronts. But while Diddy's legal woes are largely centered around his business dealings and personal conduct, Wendy's challenges appear to be more deeply intertwined with her health and her ability to continue working. Some have speculated that Wendy's recent health issues, including her well-publicized struggles with lymphedema and Graves' disease, could be linked to the immense pressure she's been under for years, pressure that many believe stems, at least in part, from her ongoing conflict with Diddy in recent months. Wendy's financial situation has also come under scrutiny, with reports emerging that she has been placed under a conservative summons, similar to the one that controlled Britney Spears' life for years. This has raised questions about whether Wendy is being taken advantage of by those around her, including people who may have a vested interest in keeping her quiet. After all, Wendy's entire brand is built on her ability to speak truth to power, and if she's no longer able to do that, it could mean the end of her career. Could Diddy be one of the forces working behind the scenes to ensure that Wendy stays silent?
Ask Wendy Williams.
That didn't happen to her too.
And it was women that set that up.
It's a question that many of Wendy's fans have been asking, particularly in light of the timing of her conservatorship. Just as Diddy's own legal troubles have started to heat up, Wendy has found herself increasingly sidelined, both professionally and personally. Some have even suggested that there could be a direct connection between these two events, though there is no concrete evidence to support this theory. Still, the timing is certainly suspicious. It has led to renewed speculation about the true nature of Wendy and Diddy's feud as the legal battles surrounding Diddy continue to unfold. It's possible that more information will come to light about the extent of his influence and the ways in which he has used it to silence his critics. If that happens, Wendy may finally get the vindication she has been seeking for so many years. But until then, she remains a controversial figure, one who has never been afraid to speak her mind, even when it has cost her dearly.
Because she wanted to put up a picture of him getting his pants pulled down.
Now, let's dive into the current state of affairs with Wendy Williams and Shaw Diddy Combs already in the rearview mirror. Things have only gotten more intense in recent years as their personal and professional lives continue to spiral in different directions. Both Wendy and Diddy face battles that have thrown their worlds into chaos. But could this be more than just coincidence? Is there a connection between Diddy's mounting legal problems and Wendy's sudden dramatic downfall? Let's start with Diddy. Over the last few years, the music industry mogul has found himself at the center of some seriously troubling allegations. What started as whispers in the industry has now become a full-blown legal nightmare. Multiple lawsuits have surfaced, each one more shocking than the last, implicating Diddy in a range of serious accusations that could land him in hot water for a long time, possibly even for the rest of his life.
Listen, y'all, I understand that these girls are of age, but this is just disgusting to me. It feels very predatory to me.
One of the most explosive cases involves a series of civil suits filed late last year. The first major bombshell came in November when Diddy was named in a lawsuit by his former romantic partner, Cassie Ventura. Cassie, who had been in an on and off relationship with Diddy for over a decade, accused him of subjecting her to years of emotional and physical torment. The lawsuit detailed disturbing claims of manipulation and coercion. Cassie's lawsuit alleged that Diddy put her through extreme situations, including forcing her into scenarios that she described as horrific, according to the suit. These incidents went on for years, starting back in 2007 and continuing until their relationship finally ended in 2018. When the news of Cassie's lawsuit broke, it shook the entertainment world. Although Diddy vehemently denied the accusations that damage was done within just a day of the lawsuit being filed, both parties announced an amicable settlement. However, This quick resolution didn't sit well with many observers. Cassie's allegations were so serious that people began to wonder what kind of deal could have been reached so quickly. Some speculated that Diddy's team had moved fast to avoid a lengthy legal battle that could expose even more damaging details.
I don't think they are scared of him. I think they more so, they don't want him to embarrass their reputation and things that they've been known for.
But Cassie's case was just the beginning. Once the floodgates opened, more individuals came forward with their own claims against Diddy. In fact, within just a few weeks of Cassie's lawsuit, 2 more lawsuits were filed under New York's Adult Survivors Act. The first was from a woman named Joey Dickerson Neal, who alleged that Diddy targeted her back in the early 90s. She claimed that Diddy had taken advantage of her when she was a college student in New York. As if that weren't enough, another lawsuit came from Liza Gardner, who claimed she was underage when Diddy and another well-known R&B artist took advantage of her after a party in New York City.
Diddy will be sued, and I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days. So
these lawsuits painted a chilling picture of Diddy's behavior over the years. Each case alleged that he had used his power, influence, and money to control the lives of those around him. And while Diddy's legal team has denied every single accusation, the sheer number of cases raises questions. Could all of these people be making things up, or is there a pattern of behavior here that the public is only now beginning to see? The situation escalated even further in early 2024 when a man named Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed yet another lawsuit. Against Diddy this time, the accusations involved a more recent period in Diddy's life. Jones, who had worked with Diddy as a producer, claimed that he witnessed and experienced disturbing behavior while living and traveling with the music mogul between 2006 to 2017, right after the passenger car Delta that launched Capital One Queen Harry into the air in 22, 25, 2006, 3, 4, and last, number 9. Zira Jones alleged that Diddy had pressured him into situations he wasn't comfortable with and that he had seen firsthand how Diddy managed others in his inner circle. Jones's lawsuit also mentioned that Diddy regularly threw extravagant parties similar to the ones that had been rumored about for years, but what made this claim stand out was the inclusion of video evidence. Jones provided screenshots from footage he had recorded while working for Diddy, which he claimed showed underage attendees at these gatherings. The lawsuit also hinted at videos of other shocking activities that could come to light if the case moved forward.
Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of...
But that's not all. As if the lawsuits weren't enough, federal authorities began investigating Diddy in early 2024. In March, federal agents raided several of his homes in Los Angeles and Miami. According to reports, they were looking for evidence related to an ongoing investigation. During these raids, authorities allegedly found a cache of suspicious items, including firearms and large quantities of supplies that seemed to be used for specific types of events. The discovery only added fuel to the fire. And Diddy's legal troubles continued to mount while his lawyer insisted that Diddy had cooperated fully with the investigation, and him missing from the scene, in this definition, I think, speculated that the authorities were closing in on him. There in September 2024, the hammer finally dropped. Diddy was arrested by federal agents at a hotel in New York City. The arrest was part of a larger indictment that accused him of running a criminal enterprise. According to the indictment, Diddy had been involved in a range of illegal activities for years, including manipulation, abuse, and coercion. The government's case against him alleged that he had used his business empire to cover up a decade's worth of misconduct. If convicted, Diddy could face a long time behind bars, possibly even for life.
If you're just joining us here, was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York tonight. Sources tell TMZ Homeland Security swooped into a Midtown hotel late Monday where Diddy was staying, and they arrested him.
These lawsuits painted a chilling picture of Diddy's behavior over the years. Each case alleged that he had used his power, influence, and money to control the lives of those around him. And while Diddy's legal team has denied every single accusation, the sheer number of cases raises questions. Could all of these people be making things up, or is there a pattern of behavior here that the public is only now beginning to see? The situation escalated even further in early 2024 when a man named Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed yet another lawsuit. Against Diddy this time, the accusations involved a more recent period in Diddy's life. Jones, who had worked with Diddy as a producer, claimed that he witnessed and experienced disturbing behavior while living and traveling with the music mogul between 2006 to 2017, right after the passenger car Delta that launched Capital One Queen Harry into the air in 25, 2006, 3, 4, and last, number 9. Zira Jones alleged that Diddy had pressured him into situations he wasn't comfortable with and that he had seen firsthand how Diddy managed others in his inner circle. Jones's lawsuit also mentioned that Diddy regularly threw extravagant parties similar to the ones that had been rumored about for years, but what made this claim stand out was the inclusion of video evidence. Jones provided screenshots from footage he had recorded while working for Diddy, which he claimed showed underage attendees at these gatherings. The lawsuit also hinted at videos of other shocking activities that could come to light if the case moved forward.
You see the people that were around her, they were also very overwhelmed and confused by the situation that they were put into.
But that's not all. As if the lawsuits weren't enough, federal authorities began investigating Diddy in early 2024. In March, federal agents raided several of his homes in Los Angeles and Miami. According to reports, they were looking for evidence related to an ongoing investigation. During these raids, authorities allegedly found a cache of suspicious items, including firearms and large quantities of supplies that seemed to be used for specific types of events. The discovery only added fuel to the fire. And Diddy's legal troubles continued to mount while his lawyer insisted that Diddy had cooperated fully with the investigation, and him missing from the scene, in this definition, I think, speculated that the authorities were closing in on him. There in September 2024, the hammer finally dropped. Diddy was arrested by federal agents at a hotel in New York City. The arrest was part of a larger indictment that accused him of running a criminal enterprise. According to the indictment, Diddy had been involved in a range of illegal activities for years, including manipulation, abuse, and coercion. The government's case against him alleged that he had used his business empire to cover up a decade's worth of misconduct. If convicted, Diddy could face a long time behind bars, possibly even for life.
You don't think there's anything going on with Wendy's health that is alarming?
No. I mean, Wendy is Wendy.
Now, while all this was happening to Diddy, Wendy Williams was going through her own very public breakdown for years. Wendy had been one of the most influential voices in entertainment news, but her life took a dramatic turn in 2022 when she was placed under a conservatorship. This arrangement, which was similar to the one Britney Spears was under for more than a decade, gave a court-appointed guardian control over her finances. Personal affairs, the situation was a shock to Wendy's fans, many of whom had watched her rise from a radio personality to a daytime TV icon, but the conservatorship was just the tip of the iceberg. Wendy's health had been deteriorating for some time, with reports of her fainting on live TV and struggling to keep up with the demands of her show in 2023. It was revealed that Wendy had been diagnosed with a serious condition which impacted her ability to communicate, make decisions according to her care team. Wendy's condition was progressive, meaning that it would only get worse over time. As a result, she was no longer able to run her own life, let alone host her talk show. You see, the people that were around her, they were also very overwhelmed and confused by the situation that they were put into. What made Wendy's situation even more tragic was the way she seemed to disappear from the public eye. Once a fixture on daytime television, Wendy was suddenly nowhere to be seen. Her show was ultimately canceled, and rumors swirled about her mental and physical well-being. Some speculated that Wendy had been pushed out of the spotlight by those who wanted to control her money, while others suggested that her health issues were far more serious than anyone initially